Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. First up, happy birthday, Tevin Campbell. Vibing. But that's not the only person that's in Scorpio gang whose birthday is today. We also got to shout out LA native Russell Westbrook. Happy birthday. And another LA native, Amarion. Big ups to all the Scorpio gang ganging today, November 12th. So lock that in. Listen, I know Can We Talk is the millennials jam that they like rock out to. But for Gen X, like that's still the one. But it's really back in the club what we used to listen to from the slow side. Because, you know, back then they still, with the last hour, play slow jams. Not hour, maybe last 10, 15 minutes. Hour is a bit much. It was Alone With You. So, with that Kyle West breakdown, this is what used to go off in the club. Can We Talk was, you know, it was a nice one. But this would come in.
My name's Tevin. What's yours?
Come on.
It was time to grab whoever
It was time to grab a little honey and get
you
close.
You feel me?
Vibing.
We had to hurry home before it starts. I can't wait to see you smile again.
That's it right there. Shout out to that. Big ups to that. So happy birthday, Tevin, Omarion, and Russell Westbrook gang gang. You know, I wonder, like, do the kids know? Do they, I mean, consent is different for them. I understand how it's evolved. I understand where it's come from. But do they know the joys of the end of the night at the school dance? And the boy you checking for is checking for you. And he slides up and you guys have your little slow dance moment. It's so cute. It was so pure. It was so innocent.
Not these kids.
No, they don't know nothing about it. I'm saying, I wonder if they see movies like, you know, The Wood, where we had that scene with Luther Vandross, If This World Were Mine, where I can't remember the two characters' names, but it was Christina Milian and the guy that played Omar Epps as a teen. Yeah. And they were slow dancing, and, you know, the brother had told him that this was her favorite song and to go ask her to dance. Like, do kids have those moments anymore? I think some of that stuff is missing for them. You know, it gets your heart rate up. It makes you have to go and speak, be assertive, not, you know, aggressive, assertive. And, you know, have that one-on-one communication. I think that is lacking now. We don't have moments like that.
Well, the pandemic definitely changed a lot of that. So, you know, they missed all the, you know, activities, the homecomings.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like even before that, it kind of was like not.
You think so?
I don't think it's been a thing as much, right? Like, so what were those kickbacks? You went to kickbacks, right?
Sure did.
Did y'all have slow jam moments?
Of course. What?
Okay, so I'm saying I feel like that was probably the last era that was doing kind of that, like the end of the night slow jam, that type of thing.
I'll give you that. I was clubbing all the way until like 08, 09. That's when I started to kind of, you know, I can just go to a kickback and have a ball. But I'll go ahead and say maybe around 2010, 2011.
Exactly.
Is when the decline started to happen.
And so now, I mean, you know, I don't know what they do, but shout out to them. Stay strong, youth. You'll get it together. When we come forward, we're going to get into a whole lot of trending topics and headlines. I'll give you the rundown on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Everyday penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Marion, breezy. Yo, chick. What's that on that beat? Yo. If your chick come close to me, she ain't going home when she supposed to be. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to be. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to be. Oh, all my close to me, and all the mother niggas where they supposed to be. Oh, the hoe go for me. How your chicks in the pit like post for me. Oh, that's how I
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And, you know, it's Wednesday where we get all up in the business. So that means we have a guest. But let me break down what we're getting into tonight because, you know, we talked about a lot that first segment. A lot about birthdays, Scorpios, Tevin Campbell going off in the club and slow jams.
You got something to do before that, though.
I know what I got to do before that. I didn't forget about that either because I've been slipping a little lately. But, you know, change is good sometimes. Re-up. 800-920-1580. That's the number that you can dial if you want to get in on the conversation. Of course, you can hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill. You can also download our app, catch up on past episodes. And if you want the visual to go along with this audio experience, hop into the YouTube chat. They are already chatting. And, you know, it's a whole community there. We love it. They're opinionated. They're fun. Go spend time with them. All right. Now, tonight, we Got a lot to get into. You would think it was a Monday and not hump day in the middle of the week, everything that's going on, right? But the culture's shifting on every level. So first up, we're going to discuss a little bit about Hillman College officially back in session. The sequel has been greenlit at Netflix after a rare pilot order. And so we're on the move. We're going to talk a little bit about that because I want to know if you guys are excited, right? Or if you think Gen Z, who the show in theory is targeted, right? But it's us that wanted it back. We'll just talk about it and we'll see. We're also going to get into, we were the beneficiaries of the Mavericks trade of Luka Doncic. And it seems like, for some, there was a villain in all of this. And there's been some deception, some smoke and mirrors. And, of course, somebody's head had to roll as the Mavs have started this season. Kind of rocky. They have a lot of injuries, but who cares about that? So we're going to get into the firing of Nico Harrison from the Dallas Mavericks, right? And we're also going to talk a little bit about Tory Lanez and his latest end of the road for his legal struggles. And your favorite guy, Snoop, or at least for some. There are rumors, there are indications that he might be losing some favor at NBC Universal, right? Maybe behind some of the comments he wishes he might have never made. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And, as I mentioned, it's all up in the business Wednesdays. So we're going to get into things with author, strategist, entrepreneur, owner of Glow and Flow Beauty, Inglewood and Hawthorne, Slay Hair, 3 Wise, Damon Haley. Welcome in, DH.
Yeah, 3 Wise. Why not? I'm good. How you doing?
I'm amazing. Why not? The tie-in is that it's Russell Westbrook's birthday. And that's why not is his thing. Look at you.
Give Russ love. He's been doing some things around L.A. and beyond.
Right. Shout out to that. Big ups. So we're all up in the business on Wednesdays. And before we get into full details of some of these stories, wanted to ask you about this. So the Skims world is not slowing down, right? Your girl, Kim Kardashian, maybe not yours, somebody's, right? She has just received a new investment round of $225 million led by Goldman Sachs. Plus BDT and MSD Partners, right? She owns roughly a third of the business of Skims, so her personal fortune is estimated at $1.9 billion now. Skims sales are expected to hit $1 billion. The Nike Skims collaboration boosted demand. Some say didn't do as much as they would have expected from it, right? So how do you think that collaboration has landed out, being as she is now getting a fresh infusion of VC cash to up on the heels of that? And Nike
sound good to me. Yeah. I mean, to get a fresh infusion, once again, these valuations have to do with what people think, and the valuation really happens when you sell it, right? And so for her to have a higher net worth means that she can use other people's money or debt to do whatever it is she wants to do. So that's a good thing. Secondly,
like fund her new series and what have
all
you.
That. And, maybe pay for a better tutor so she can pass the bar, right? That stuff too.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. I mean, Goldman Sachs still has a lot of cachet. It's getting the right people in the room. How could you lose with Kim Kardashian, Nike, and Goldman Sachs? That just seems like a bona fide winner, and people will make it win. And so I think to get that capital infusion in there is more marketing, it's more advertising. Nike's only going to do so much.
Right.
But now you have someone else kind of staking out Kim and Skims. Now that's when Goldman Sachs says, well, let's get a piece of this, because they'll get in and then they'll get out soon.
Has Kim Kardashian and her rise, right? The tape came out 2007-ish, right? And her rise, the whole family's rise. Has that been like one of the biggest plot twists, one of the biggest like business advancements that we've seen? Because in theory, someone that appeared on, an intimate moments tape and got their start, per se, from that moment into the public interest, should not have been able to go this far, even if they are able to get some success, because we see that people are curious, they like a spectacle, they like exhibition. But for it to evolve into what it has, especially navigating some of the scandals and rockiness,
I would say you got to give credit where credit's due. Kris Jenner is genius because she's been running the thing. And not only has she kind of ran it, she's brought other people in to continue the rise of it. So that's the real greatness of it, because you got Kim, you still got all the sisters involved with the whole media and making their lives a story. That's huge, because they're the biggest reality TV family that we know about. So that was them working together as a family, leveraging it. I knew some of their story arc. I don't care how it starts and how bad it gets. By the end of the show, it's nothing but love. And that was always the design of it. I know that was the strategy. And then being able to, the work in a Reggie Bush, a LO, all LA cultural people, not to mention all the dating, Blake Griffin, not Blake, what's the other? Chris Humphreys, weaving in him. So it's genius. It's strategic.
Kendall was the queen of the biracial basketball players.
It's so I got to give Chris credit for managing the whole thing like a true CEO, bringing in all the other people to grow every aspect of the business, knowing how to align the makeup, the like I said, what Kim is doing with the product. I mean, like I said, I joked about it, but the only thing she hasn't been able to do is pass the bar exam and, pay somebody and get over that.
All right. So let's get into Nico Harrison and his firing. I know it's painful. It's painful. First up, no. Are you giving horns because
he deserves it?
All right. Well, let's unpack this, because I'm not so sure. Right? I'm not so sure. But let's give a rough sketch of the timeline, right? We know Nico was hired in June of 2021 for the Mavs. December of 2023, Mark Cuban sells his majority stake. The time it was announced that he was going to stay on in some capacity, kind of the thing that we heard about with Jeannie Buss. Excuse me. The governor's board, is that the language? But the new ownership was like, move out of the way, right? So in any takeover, merger, sell, acquisition, when the new people come in, they want their people in place. They don't necessarily want the people that had been there, right? So I think that is one thing to consider when you look at all of this. But let's continue. 2024, from a team that Nico put together, the Mavs reached the finals but lost to the Celtics in 5, right? Didn't Kyrie get injured in that? Or no, they just got outplayed. I feel like there wasn't an injury on the way in that series.
Yeah, I think Kyrie was hurt.
Was that what was said afterwards?
Kyrie was just getting mollywopped by Boston. I think that's what it was. He would go to Boston and trauma would hit him or whatnot. When he was
saging the court and what have you.
100%. But he just played lousy that finals.
Yeah.
So, around February, was it February 2025 or 2024? When did the trade with Luka happen?
Yeah, earlier this year.
Earlier this year, right? Or was that last year?
No,
it was this year. It was February, right? So before the trade happened a little bit, we were hearing rumblings that stuff wasn't fine in Dallas, right? Like there was lots of shots coming out about Luka and his weight and if he wanted to be there, so to speak, right? And then the trade happens and everything goes crazy. And then the owner's son-in-law, who is responsible for the team, remember this woman is heir to the Sands, the Las Vegas casinos, and there have been rumors that they want to move this team from Dallas to Las Vegas and be the Vegas franchise, right? but the owner signs off on and approves all the trades. So this guy who put out this statement and is like, we needed to make a change. And, we looked at Nico, we listened to the fans, we're really listening to the fans, and the fans say they wanted him to go, kind of feels like he's sidestepping his responsibility in this because he approved the trade, right? You knew who Luka was, but the rumors say that he wasn't like too lovely to Luka either. Like he didn't respect what he brought. So DH, and I say this with an asterisk on everything in this conversation. Damon and I both know Nico. We used to work with him. So just clearing the decks for that. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I know Nico. I know a fair amount of people associated with the Mavericks organization. They can Google and see where the connections are. This was the fall guy. I
forgot to mention Cynthia. That was over. Mark Cuban brought her in during their diversity little dust up. She quietly left right after, I believe, this sale took place. Or was it right before?
She transitioned nicely. She's a Cal grad like myself, first black cheerleader there, and Diane Valentine, my wife's cousin. So that just had to do with just a transition. And she older and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So that was cool. That wasn't anything but, hey, I'm just ready to do something else. But the Nico piece of the Nico component of all that I know, talking to a number of different people, he had to go because of the fan.
Somebody had to fall on the sword.
Yes. So, does a trade of that magnitude happen, a unilateral decision? No. He might have shepherded it, and thought about it and all that kind of stuff. But it's an organizational thing when you trade somebody like Luka. So everybody knows that. I mean, you have to know that if you're listening out there. It just wasn't Nico in a room making it without everybody knowing. Everybody put their hand in the middle and was like, we good with this? All those people looked each other in the eye and said, yeah, we good with it. Boom. But now it's just Nico can't, I don't know how he lives in Dallas. So based on the stuff we see, he's out having a drink and people, harassing him. The owner now hasn't been to a game since the other night, since the season opener. Now, when you're an owner and you up in there and you see a whole lot of people, everybody buying popcorn, peanuts, your merchandise, paying for parking, don't like this, I got to get rid of the problem so we can move ahead. And then it don't help that AD's out. Anthony, he's always out, right? But he's out. Then Kyrie's out. I don't know. It's somebody named Clay that used to be good that's there now.
Do you think it's just that they haven't found a way to utilize Clay in their offense because they're really not even set on all of that because there's so many pieces that are out?
It's tough when you're losing two all-star caliber players in AD and Kyrie, and you have a rookie. It's kind of tough, and it's only 11 games in the season. You're 3-8, but that fan thing, you just can't. Because even one of the players said it, and I think it to be true because I heard some people want to see the loss to get rid of Nico. Let's remove all of that. So now today, okay, y'all got to play. Not to mention they done lost 3 or 4 games by 1 point or a bucket. They've been in a lot of games and they losing because nobody can close a game out. So feel bad for Nico, but Nico's okay. He'll be okay. He'll bounce back. But in that situation, like any situation in business, that big a problem that the customer's having, you got to get rid of the problem. And that's what it basically boils down to.
When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come on. My man, my man, my man, my baby, my baby. Me dying, spoiling me, driving me crazy. My man, my man, my man, my baby, my baby. Me dying, spoiling me, driving me crazy. Aye, your fantasy, my man reality. I had to lock in when I found out he could handle me.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The House has passed a funding bill to end the record-breaking shutdown, sending it to President Trump for his signature. The Senate approved it Monday after several Democrats joined Republicans to move the measure forward. It funds the government through January 30th. Democrats had blocked the bill for more than 40 days, pushing for an extension of Obamacare tax credits. They agreed to proceed after Senate Majority Leader John Thune promised a future vote on those benefits. Sean Diddy Combs may lose his phone and commissary privileges for 3 months after being caught on an unauthorized three-way call. The 56-year-old is serving 4 years for transporting to engage in prostitution, but could cut time through a prison rehab program. And Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic will step down when his term ends February 28th. The first black and openly gay regional Fed president, Bostic's exit could pave the way for more rate cuts. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Stall in Sherman Oaks on the 101 southbound before Woodman. 2 middle lanes are blocked, and that drive is slowing away from Haskell. Also, South LA, this is the 105 eastbound before Vermont. Carpool lane blocked due to a wreck with a backup off of the 405. Surface tree issue in Garden Grove. Now, this is affecting Chapman Avenue, both directions between Magnolia Street and Gilbert Street. It's off limits due to a crash. Highway Patrol and police say we hope to have this all wrapped up pretty soon. They're aiming for 6:30.
Families have been loving LifeSource Whole House Water Systems for over 40 years. And now when you buy LifeSource, you can save up to $1,000 with the no sales tax special. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com. And soon, warranty limitations apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron appears to be getting close to making his debut this season with the Lakers. The Lakers are sending LeBron to their G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers, to give him some practice time and game action. LeBron, who turns 41 on December 30th, has missed the Lakers' first 11 games and all of training camp and the preseason. He's been sidelined with a sciatic nerve injury in his lower back and left leg. LeBron has not been able to practice with the Lakers, which prompted the move to send him to the G League. LeBron has been cleared to participate in 5-on-5 workouts with the South Bay team beginning Thursday. The next game for South Bay is Sunday at 5 p.m. against the Rip City Remix, the Portland Trailblazers G League affiliate. Sunday's game is a home game for South Bay, which plays at the UCLA Health Training Center in El Segundo. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah. There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only, exclusions apply.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
We are sip the Henny for the day, baby. Bad man, we no stray, baby. Oops, I done fell for your way, baby. I know, girl, but you don't know from the first time I seen your love, you got me, baby. Even though, girl, I know that I would fall for you, you got to know that everyone falls. Oops, I done fell so deep, baby. Oops, I want you for me, baby. Oops, I want you for me, baby. Oops, I done fell so deep, 'cause everyone falls.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And we're all up in the business because it's Wednesday, and that's what we do, all up in the business Wednesday. So I'm not alone. I am here with Damon Haley, strategist, author.
DH, baby.
All of it. So we're transitioning. We talked a little bit about the Mavs and that. Did I mention Wale? The Wale, he had, I guess it's been, 17 years maybe, that he had a single called Nike Boots. Remember, the Nike Boots were really big, right? Especially in the D.C. area where he was from, right? Kind of a 90s thing. Well, better late than never, Nike and Wale are coming out with a Wale Nike boot.
Oh, Drew
Premium
doing that?
material. No, Drew's not doing that, I don't believe. So that's dropping soon for all you sneakerheads that are into it, and, just in time for winter, switch up your look.
I might buy some.
And the first WNBA player to be a Playboy centerfold has been announced. Now I'm going to mess up.
Kaiser.
All right.
Gondrzic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Say it again, Andy.
Kaiser Gondrzic.
I always want to call her Kaiser Gondrzic. Her name feels like Kaiser Soze in that moment. You guys, if you know that reference, shout out to you. But she is the first athlete, WNBA player, I should say, selected to pose for Playboy. Now, Playboy is different in 2025. It is not as nude, but it is a little explicit, right? But she's the first black WNBA player to be featured. And the shoot, they say, celebrates body autonomy, femininity, and confidence. She looks amazing because she's beautiful. And, too many female athletes are told to shrink. And, a long time, there's a lot that was carried about basketball players that were women, female basketball players. There's lots of questions. And I think it's dope that all sides of the spectrum, from our stud buds to our Instagram basketball Barbies, are represented in the W, and we get to see all shapes and sizes of it because, it's all there and it's all ready. Andy?
I know that Kevin Porter Jr. is probably feeling some kind of way. But, she's been out the league for a while. Do we still call her a W? No. Is she still a representative?
They do. So I am respecting. She did play. So let's not take that from her. She has been out of the league. Do we not Okay, but do we not still call people like Matt Barnes, and shout out to you guys in the chat. Maybe we'll talk about what's going on with that tomorrow. I see you, though. I see you. I hear you. We call them ex-NBA players or former NBA players still, and they've been out the league for like decades.
I hear you. They had a lot more years, though. Kaiser was like a blink.
But the W's only, 27 years old at this point. It's a baby.
You play one season.
It counts.
It counts.
Okay.
It counts.
It
It's hard to get there. There's
counts.
only how many teams are in the W? 12? I can't remember. Something like that. Right.
That's like saying former player Anthony Bennett, who used to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do you even remember who Anthony Bennett is?
Number 1 draft pick, of course.
Okay.
See?
Yeah. You on that roster.
I mean, listen, I would talk my stuff. There's only less than 5,000 people ever to do this thing.
Respect to Kaiser.
I'm going to give it that. I'm going to give that. So, big ups to that. All right.
And I love it, by the way. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
And as I said, it's not like your 70s Playboy. It's, different. It's not what it was. But in a world of OnlyFans, do we care? I don't know. All right. So, word on the curb, rumor has it, alleged, unconfirmed. NBC is reportedly rethinking Snoop Dogg's entire relationship with the network, reportedly following the backlash over the homophobic questions some felt he asked related to the Pixar movie, right? Remember, he said he was at the movies with his grandson, and his grandson didn't understand how the two ladies had a baby in the film. So, allegedly, some advertisers might be spooked, and that's where, decisions get made. So what we do know is that he made those comments on the It's Giving podcast about the Lightyear movie, right? His New Year's Eve special has been canceled. Some view that as a warning shot, a kind of reminder. Now, I was talking to Dr. Nee before he left, and I mentioned this to him, and he said, with the tides turning as far as how the LGBTQ community is looked at currently, seems strange. But maybe they just don't want the attention in that way, other than the lovable stoner that Snoop is known to be currently. Maybe they just don't want any of it, right? He's done a GLAAD partnership, which some people feel like, he kind of sold out doing that, Not a teachable moment, not he's learning, he sold out, hey. But, supposedly advertisers are fearing a family brand culture war headlines, not so much whether it is about the defense of. So, Andy, you look like you got something to add.
I'm just upset with these corporations. I feel like these corporations don't have any form of backbone.
Do you feel like it's hard for them to feel as such because, one, right, we got a new administration. We don't know where those alliances are and what, but, Snoop, to some, kissed the ring with that, so that really shouldn't be a problem. But the second thing is that with the boards and shareholders expecting so much from a profit and looking at growth, that's who they answer to, right? And if the shareholders start grumbling because they're, look, my dividend went back, or we're not getting a dividend this quarter because we're mad. I'm sure there's somewhere a target investor, right, that is pretty upset with them as a brand. Like, you should have bobbed when you weaved. Instead of taking this stance, or if you were going to take this stance, you should have explained yourself better. You should have noted A, B, and C. It's all about approach, really. And, again, this is all alleged. We'll see what happens, but we know Snoop was their sweetheart. He has deals with NBC Sports, specials, things happening with Peacock. So the idea that New Year's Eve, which is a pretty weighty thing for the networks to a degree, even with the bites that are being taken out of coverage, is kind of stripped away. It does make you wonder what's going on.
Yeah, I think where we are with media, that you can turn all smoke into fire. And so just to have it being a discussion point is a brand detractor. For it to be a discussion point is a business detractor. So I honestly think Snoop's a nice dude. I mean, you can get him off of his point in 1 minute, but I think he had a tough situation dealing with that with the grandson, that he should have been coached on better. That's all. It's just certain things you talk about and certain things you don't talk about, I've dealt with a lot of athletes. You could talk about whatever you want except these three things. That's it. You shouldn't talk about politics.
Right, politics,
You shouldn't talk about religion.
What's
you
the
shouldn't
last
talk
one?
about you shouldn't talk about sexual orientation.
Okay.
I mean, it's a couple things you just don't talk about, period. And so if Snoop would have been trained and or disciplined on that, he'd have a New Year's show. And so, but does he stand on it, to fight on it? I don't think so, not knowing him. I think he's accepting of all people, but there's certain things he don't care for, And he ain't going to beat up nobody. He just don't care for it, It's not like people putting hoses on him or beating him up because, that kind of stuff. He's not like that. But I think that everybody has something to answer to. We talked about, Nico falling on the sword. Okay, this is a message to Snoop saying, hey, don't color outside the lines. Stay in the lane. This is our lane right here.
Andy's looking upset.
It's just horrible because, our elected officials say the most wildest stuff.
Indeed.
And then a public, individual, a public figure like Snoop Dogg, a mistake maybe you can call it, and now no companies want to work with him and all. Like,
well,
I
no,
just
no,
feel
no,
like
no,
it's
we
bogus.
didn't say that. We didn't say that. We didn't say that.
Just backing him up.
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's just
Yeah,
like,
just,
hey.
You got to learn.
I just think it's unfair. Because Trump can say the wildest stuff.
He can, but here's the thing,
it's
right?
a different seat.
I get it.
Yeah, it's a different seat.
But I'm saying with Snoop, like, one, right, technically nothing's been on either side, because you have to remember, we as the culture were very upset with Snoop at the top of the year. People were calling for Snoop's head.
It's crazy.
Right? So I think you got to kind of take that approach both ways, right?
Fair.
Within reason. Within reason, right? Snoop, is going to smoke his bud, listen to his oldies, and be slightly misogynistic.
Yeah.
Or a whole lot, depending upon how you look at
it. Slightly homophobic.
He's
going to be slightlies.
He's a 50-something Gen Xer, and he's trying to keep it going. Who, if you would have said in 1992 when you heard Snoop, yeah, and it don't stop because it's 187 on a undercover cop. Right. Did you think that he would be America's sweetheart in 2023, 24, 25, hawking everything on our TV, doing shows with Martha Stewart, cooking stuff, and, the blunt being a lovable accessory to him? Right? You never would have imagined it. So Snoop has come a long way. Murder was the case, was not a pretend thing. He really was on trial for murder. So when you think about the stuff he's overcome, then, it's amazing he's still here.
Did he do something with LA Unified School District earlier this week?
He might have.
He did.
When we come forward, we'll get into more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
September is World Alzheimer's Month, a time to shine a light on a public health crisis that hits Black families hardest. 1 in 5 Black adults ages 70 and older is living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD, and it's not a normal part of aging. Early signs like repeating questions, missed appointments, even trouble handling bills might seem small, but they matter. The good news? There are treatment options available that may slow AD when diagnosed early. Don't wait. Visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com to learn more. This message is brought to you by AZI. Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit casmpvolunteer.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So, DH, I didn't ask you, is there anything in particular you've been doing lately or you want to update us on?
What have I been doing? I've been in conversations around sports and basketball with a number of different entities. Sport-wise, I had a great conversation with LA 28 today, so there might be something in my future there. I may be going to, I think I'm going to Qatar for Formula One Thanksgiving weekend, and they have the World Cup of Basketball over there in 2027, so I'm talking to the royal family about that, and met with some very influential fiber manufacturers from Japan who make our sleigh hair, and they like the way we do it. They like our high-grade fiber, and we will be in partnership with them to talk about, the better part of synthetic hair. Not myself, but my business partner, Diane Valentine, will be talking about that stuff. So, yeah, those are the things that's been going on in the world of DH, baby.
Nice. Well, let's get into a little bit of history. Stepping back on campus, we mentioned this. Netflix has officially ordered a Different World sequel, and Hillman College is open for a new generation. The series is going to center on Deborah Wayne. She is one of the daughters of Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert. Malaya Joy Moon, she's a Tony Award-winning actress. She'll be playing that role in the lead. Felicia Pride, she's written shows on Bel Air and Grey's Anatomy. She's the showrunner. Debbie Allen is returning as an executive producer, and she's directing 3 episodes, including the premiere, which is the pilot episode. And some of the original writers from the series, including Reggie Rock Bythewoods, jacking his name up, apologies, and Gina Prince Bythewoods, you know them.
Loving basketball.
Recently, the Apple TV Plus series that Kevin Durant produced. I'm forgetting the name right now. It's based on AAU stuff. He also did that, and obviously, you know, a lot more. Well, they started early in their careers on A Different World. I believe it's where they met. So, originally, obviously, the original A Different World is credited with tripling HBC enrollment in the early 90s. I believe that because for me, that's when I really understood what an HBCU was. I don't think that in school days introduced me to those concepts, you know. I don't think I really had an understanding prior to that, even though both my parents went to HBCUs, at least for a time.
I did not know that.
Did not, yeah, I didn't know.
Well, when I was a senior in high school, I thought Georgetown was a HBCU.
Oh, because of Patrick Ewing and all of those guys, yeah.
The gear, you know, the gear. Shout out to Georgetown Gene.
Shout out to them. Big ups, right? That is a classic team. So, I mean, A Different World was a curriculum for a different generation, the way that they tackled issues in a way that felt like it was ripped from the conversations that we were having in our living rooms, at the homie's house, in the cars, in the dorm rooms. Really felt different. I attribute a lot of that, which we've said over a number of years, to Debbie Allen and her having an HBCU experience and then bringing that to the set, because first season was just a sitcom about college life. Season 2 on, this was a sitcom about Black college life, and really touched on the issues that were popping for us then in a way that was relatable.
And as much as NBC could and would do, our culture seeped out pre-hip-hop, you know, pre-hip-hop. So, yeah, and we got to give a shout-out to Bill Cosby for pushing it, too.
Facts, yeah.
You know.
For him being the launch point.
Yeah.
So, last story before we get out of here. Tory Lanez, his final appeal was denied. It's the end of the legal road. Cue Boys to Men. California has decided his final attempt to overturn his conviction in the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion is done. And so a 3-judge panel reviewed all the documents and reviewed all counts and said no. So he remains convicted for assault with a semi-automatic firearm, possession of an unregistered loaded firearm, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. The incident took place July 2020, Hollywood Hills. He's been sentenced to 10 years and no further appellate pathways remain. So there's that. And listen, so many things that were just wrong in this. And I say wrong not in a wagging my finger way, just in a better decisions from everybody involved, from other, you know, from every aspect, really could have had a different outcome. So, but my baby. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Listen, thanks for locking in. You know, we'll be back.
I got one for you. So
let's go.
We talked about Clay and the Mavericks. You think it has anything to do with Megan? The Megan?
Why Clay isn't doing?
Could he be distracted?
That he could be,
teasing, of course, but
you know, I mean, it could be like Clay has had girlfriends before, never this public. He was with Laura Harrier. She was an actress, but they were still a little muted, not as much as we see with Megan. Maybe he's just, you know, Megan's a different beast. She's a stallion, and you know, he's at the rodeo and might not be the greatest cowboy. I don't know.
I 100% believe that Megan has a lot to do with Clay's performance. I mean, look at Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I'm just saying, fellas, you might, if you're in your prime of your career, you might want to wait until you retire. You know what I'm saying? To get with somebody popping like that. I don't know. I'm just saying.
But Clay is at the end of the
road.
Right.
Both those guys are at the end.
They're at the end. So the timing to me seems about right. Listen, no recaps, no reruns. This is Jill Monroe. I'll be back tomorrow, 6 to 7 p.m. The voice of reason, Zoe Williams, is up next.
Girl, you know we belong together. I don't have no time for you to be playing with my heart like this. You'll be mine forever, baby. You just we belong together, and you know that I'm right. KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. New York City is marking 24 years since the crash of American Airlines Flight 587. Black Mayor Eric Adams joined families to honor the 265 victims, including 5 on the ground.
24 years later, the pain does not